August 12th every year is celebrated as World Youth Day. That day is set aside by United Nations to celebrate the activities of youth and, of course, the persons that make up the population of the youth in all UN countries. Of course, for the year 2018, it is not different because on Sunday the 12th of August, youth around the world, Nigeria inclusive, gathered at various locations to celebrate youth. In the studio today with me to discuss these and others, we have Comrade Ambassador Innocent Ndoanya. He's the Deputy President of the National Youth Council of Nigeria. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir.
And joining him is Comrade Ambassador Awujola Kehinde. He is the National Public Relations Officer of the National Youth Council of Nigeria. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
And of course, my name is Nten Ekpang, and the program is Issues of the Moment, coming to you from Television Nigeria, broadcasting live from Abuja. Now let's start. Youth, UN recognizes that the population of the youth should be celebrated. What's your impression about setting out a day like this to celebrate the youth generally?
Well, it's a wonderful thing that the United Nations recognize the importance of the youth and, map out this day, 12th of August every year, to celebrate the youth who are the life wire of every nation.
Why do you think it's important?
Well, it is important to, celebrate the youth because they are worth celebrating. Being the life wire of every nation, Nigeria is not excluded. So today, having map up today for this celebration, I think is something to appreciate by the youth in the entire world.
Think about the United Nations celebrating you as a youth. How does that make you feel?
Make me feel important anyway. It shows how the youth, our worth in the society, knowing fully well that the youths form the largest percentage of the population in almost any country and the entire world. And as I say, the youth are the future, are the leaders of tomorrow. We are being grown, we grow to take leadership positions. And if we are not worth celebrating, even as a youth, are we going to be celebrated when we now get much more older?
Yeah, a lot of people have said that the tomorrow that they have always said youth are the leaders of tomorrow. Tomorrow has never come. Do you still subscribe to the fact that we are leaders of tomorrow? What about today?
The truth is, let me say the fact is, talking about the slogan, youth are the leaders of tomorrow, we have not really seen it as in being factual. It has not really, we have not really seen youth as the leaders, actually, but we continue to strive. Let me say in the recent time, the percentage of how youth are getting involved in leadership positions, want to be involved in the electionary process and all the rest, is now encouraging. To some extent, we can boldly come out to say that youth are taking their places now.
Yeah, and they're not too young to run a bill that has been
yes,
signed.
exactly.
Does that make you feel that the tomorrow we have been waiting for has come?
Well, to me, personally, the tomorrow is already
here.
Because I could remember those days. If you come to some state, you will see the special assistant to the governors, the men with gray hair. But as a matter of fact, I'm still serving my governor as the special assistant on youth development. So some governors and some leaders has realized that the youth need to take over. We are no longer leaders of tomorrow because since I was born, been telling me that youth are leaders of tomorrow, and I've decided to take my destiny into my hand and make myself a leader of now. Because since tomorrow don't want to come, I have to force it to come now. And I want to enjoy other youth to take the bull by the horn, because tomorrow is here. We can no longer wait for tomorrow to come.
Yeah, he said that he's taking his destiny, by force. People say power is not given; it is taken.
Yes.
Do you share in that ideology of it's about time the youth took over?
Yes, I share in that idea. And let me use this as an example. I was actually speaking. Okay, I was in Native some times ago, and I was opportunity to meet with the DG, and we were talking about youth taking over, talking about getting into leadership positions. And she had to come out outrightly to tell me that there's no elderly person in a leadership position. I just want to give it out now. That we have to come, fight for it. That if she's opportune now, that she still wants to continue to be in that seat. But if I'm going to take over for, then I have to fight for it. It's worth fighting for. It's not something that it gives to you on the platter of gold. So I concur with that slogan that says that power, you need to fight for it.
Yeah, I was talking with a group of young people that after the signing of the Not Too Young to Run bill into law, youth were celebrating all over the country. But the fact is, the financial power, if you talk about politics in Nigeria, it involves a lot of money. For instance, let us say we want a youth to become a senator, someone of your age, and you are to contest with the likes of the deputy senate president, for instance, or the senate president, for instance, or Senator Dino Melaye, for instance. Now, do the youths have this financial capacity, to go at loggerheads with this kind of people to say, I want to become, a senator, as it were? Some people just say this not too young to run thing is just a paper thing because the youth don't have money. How are we going to fight to get to that position where, we gradually take over, as it were?
Well, before now, some youths like us who have started to take their destiny into their hand have been in political position. So, to me, I don't celebrate much, though I celebrate about signing the Not Too Young to Run. What is important is the ability of the youth to bear the consequences now, because money politics has spoiled the politics of this country. And the only thing that can save the youth of this country and youth all over the world is to shun money politics. If they're able to, shun money politics and, go by what is on ground, I think many youths will be taking leadership position come 2019, because it's one of our mandates, it's one of our aims, to make sure 2019, because it's going to be a year of youth, it's going to be a year of liberation politically to Nigerian youth. We're going to starve because some of us, as encountered so many things. I've been in the street, bear this hunger in the street to be where we are today. So I want to enjoy other youth outside there to emulate us. Let us bear this hunger now and take this leadership of this country, because we are right for it. We can't wait any longer. Awolowo, Zikiwe, and many of them were in this age we are today, and they rule this country. And at our age, our level of our exposure, somebody is telling us that we are leaders of tomorrow. And in fact, I want to enjoy the youth to take the bull by the horn. 2019 is a year of political liberation for Nigerian youth.
Do you see the female youth starving, like he said, in order to get there and take what belongs to the youth rightly?
Yes, a couple of number of female youths are now taking the bull by the horn, as he has said, and they're determined and ready to go the extra miles, going extraordinarily to mount the positions of leadership.
Okay.
Also,
on the day of the signing of the Not Too Young to Run, in paragraph 14 or 15 or thereabout, the president asked youth to say, do not contest for the presidency of the Federal Republic. Do it after 2023, when I may have served my second term. You tell us you have been given the power, the mandate to run for elective offices, and then in one of your paragraphs you say, do not. Does that sound good to the youth? Do you see 2019 being anything close to youth coming into power?
Well, the president has, said it, and sometimes when an elder says something, he knows the reason why he's making such statements. To me, taking over is not a lip service. It's not something that just happened. We have to plan it.
True.
But 2019, in the Senate, you see the youth, in the House of Assembly, local government chairman, they're going to take over. But for us to take over control of the political leadership of this country, at least 2019 might not be the good time. I have to be honest to you. I'm a realist. I don't, tell people what is not obtainable. I don't have anybody for now, but the presidency of this country, we have to plan for it seriously. We have to mobilize the youth like we are doing, because I told people before the end of this year, we're going to establish youth council in about 10 countries of the world. We are going to mobilize Nigerian youth all over the world for this task. So 2019 will be in the starting stage of our mobilization. We're going to tour all over the world to mobilize our youth, to key into this agenda of 2023. And I want to tell you, by God's grace, 2023 is see a young man of 30, 35 as the president of this country.
You see that coming is a reality, especially when viewed vis-a-vis the president's, saying that hang on for 2019 until such a time.
Yes, I support with him, because looking at our blueprint, looking at our plans as a National Youth Council, as an organization on its own, we have steps we want to take, we have procedures, we have things we've mapped out to go about this, so it's achievable.
Amazing. Now let's go to the theme for this year. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, specifically Goal 11, it emphasizes the need for the provision of space towards inclusive and sustainable urbanization. That's talking about safe spaces. And here UN is specifically saying safe spaces for youth. Are we in a space that is kind of not safe for us as youth, that UN is advocating for that kind of stuff? What's your impression about the theme for the year 2018?
Well, when I saw the theme for this year International Youth Day, I was so happy, because for you to strive, for you to achieve victory and success, the spaces must be safe politically and economically. So I came to the theme for this year International Youth Day.
Talk about safety in the socio-political life of a country like Nigeria that we are. People argue that if it is not safe, it is caused by the youth. If we have, for instance, in the southeast, where there's kidnapping, it's done by the youth. In the south-south, where there is all bunkering and stuff like that, it's done by the youth. The population of predominantly people who have been arrested for Boko Haram insurgency, they fall into the youthful situation, the youth gap. So when you talk about safe spaces for youth, people argue that it is the youth that have made the space not to be safe for them. So vis-a-vis that, what's your reaction?
You don't expect a youth that graduated over probably like 6-5 years, doesn't even have a job, unemployment is there, has nothing to do, and there is probably no kind of empowerment from the state government or federal government. There's an adage that says that an idle hand is a devil's workshop. And when a man is hungry, we know that they can do and undo. And most of the people that are being affected by unemployment, poverty, are the youths, which form the highest percentage of population. They can be correct saying that are the youth, but the truth is that the spaces are not safe just because of some factors.
Absolutely. Now, let's use what she's saying as an analogy. For instance, 70 million people in Nigeria are said to fall under the youth bracket, 30 years and down. Now, if there's hunger in the land, it's a function of probably leadership, if there's unemployment and all of that. Now, if you check out the people who go to vote, more often than not, 70-80% are youth. Meaning that we have put ourselves where we are. So do we blame anybody for the fact that there are these kind of shortcomings that young people suffer in a country like Nigeria?
Well, when your father refused to teach you the road to the farm, you try to learn it by yourself. We can accuse our elders for the problem Nigerian youths are passing through. But like I said earlier, this is time for us to take our destiny by our hands. Since they say we are the problem for the space is not being safe, I want to urge our youth to, make this space safe for us, so that 2019 we can be liberated economically and politically from the hands of these political juggaboys that refuse to quit the stage for us.
And let's come down to NYCM. Now, coming from the perspective of what you guys have said, prior to your election, we had pockets of violence everywhere, factionalization, and stuff like that. And that is the picture that we now as youth have always painted of ourselves in Nigeria. We hijack ballot boxes, we are sent to harass politicians, perceived enemies, and stuff like that. Now, in your own organization, prior to your election, we had all of that. How far have you gone in healing, the wounds that were, caused during that election period?
Well, of a truth, Youth Council has been in crisis over 10 years, but the fact still remains that such is expected of organizations that have about 80 million members. But we must tell ourselves the truth, that in as much as there's crisis even in the political parties and other, even in the churches, we have crisis of faction in the churches. We have churches that break away from one church. So
are you justifying your crisis?
no, I'm not trying to justify, but I'm just trying to analyze something to you. The crisis in Youth Council at level of Gombe has be put to an end because the ministry and the Minister for Youth, Barrister Solomon Dalong, see it as an important thing to bring Nigerian youth together and make peace among the warring factions of the youth. And that is why we saw ourselves in Gombe having a unity congress for the first time in 10 years. So the crisis has really come to an end. We are ready to move on, by God's grace. God will give us the ability to take our country to the next level.
No, you did say that the crisis has been arrested, peace has returned. What would you say were the determining factors, the deciding factors that made the Youth Council to come together as one united body, to forge ahead the ideals for the youth?
Like the Deputy President had earlier said, I want to use the opportunity to commend the Ministry and the Minister of Youth and Sport and the present leadership, which is the Board of Trustees of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, ably led by Ambassador Dixon Ako. After so much, about 10 years of crisis, they felt that if they leave this crisis to linger on, they might deter the future of the youth. They came together, see how they can mend fences together, brought all of the fractions together, and that was what produced the Gombe Unity Congress. I would say one of the factors that made them to come together was the importance they've seen in the youth, and the see that our participation in position of leadership has a long way to go in reforming Nigeria. And they have really tried. I want to believe that it took them a lot of things, their energy and everything, to see that the crisis was put to an end. And in Gombe, we have elective Congress, where the youths have the opportunity to elect the leaders by themselves. And this Gombe Congress produced the ever youngest president in the history of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, a 30-year-old young man, person of Comrade Bello Bala Shagari. Presently is the president of the National Youth Council of Nigeria. Produced a lot of young people that have vision to push Nigeria to another level. I myself was produced at that Congress, the first female PRO of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, in the history of National Youth Council of Nigeria. Still under the 30s.
You must be very proud of yourself.
I'm very proud of myself.
What would you say was the secret behind that, having a lady image or something? Was it gang up by the women to say, hey, every vote for the woman should come to you or something?
Not really, but it's just a kind of determination. It wasn't easy. There were obstacles. Even for the first time where I declared I was going to be running for the post of the PRO, you come to see people tell you that it is an office for a male. You cannot do it. In fact, you cannot even smell it. But despite all those negative words, I was determined that if a man can do it, a woman can. Yes, I had support from the female folks too, but most of it was a matter of determination. Even because on the Congress ground, there were times that you have to look at it that, is it possible that is going to work? Do I have to step down? But majorly was because I knew where I was going to. It was not a day affair that I just woke up a day and I determined that I was going to go for PRO. It's something that I've always looked up to about 2-3 years, and I've been working towards it.
You're still watching the program Issues of the Moment, coming to you on television Nigeria with me in 10 Ekpan. And of course, today we are discussing the World Youth Day, which happened to be on the 12th of August 2018. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, the rest of the program. Don't go away. Welcome back. You're still watching the program Issues of the Moment on television Nigerian with me in 10 Ekpan. And of course, if you're just joining us, I have been speaking with Comrade Ambassador Innocent Nduanya. He's the Deputy President of the National Youth Council of Nigeria. And of course, Comrade Ambassador Awujo Lakende. He is the National Public Relations Officer. And our focus has been the World Youth Day 2018. And of course, the theme, which is Safe Spaces for Youth, vis-a-vis the 2019 election that is coming up next year. Of course, you know that this is a pre-election year, so we cannot talk about youth without their involvement in the electionary process. Once again, welcome back to the program, guys.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. So let's go straight up now. Before we talk about the election, what are the plans for that you have for youth at all levels in Nigeria as we march towards 2019, especially galvanizing them as a bloc to ensure that whoever emerges has the interests of youth at heart?
Well, it's a big task that we have, decided to, take upon ourselves. Like I said earlier, I told you that before the end of this year, I was going to mobilize Nigerians in about 10 countries, especially the youth. In 2 months' time, we're going to tour the whole country, still in the same mobilization. For quite some time, when Youth Council produce their leaders, they will be in Abuja and be doing the leadership. But because most of us that have our way to emerge in this Congress at Gombe are grassroots people. I'm not based in Abuja. I'm in Anambra State, and there's no youth leader in Anambra State that doesn't know that we exist. We are grassroots people. There's no day in every week that I don't go back to my village to stay with my youths in the village. So we are going to mobilize, serious mobilization for 2019. The youths must be seriously involved. And 2019, we will make sure that our president will know that the Minister for Youth should be a youth. In fact,
when you say your president, is it the president of the Federal Republic or the
president of
the
the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria?
Okay.
The President of Federal Republic of 60% of the political position should be given to youth, and these are the things we are going
That's
to do.
a large number, 60%.
It's
That's
not
more
large.
than average.
We have the largest number of the
population.
So there's nothing that you demand that is too big for them. We are 80 million in Nigeria alone, and before the election, our number will increase to about 100 million. So you know what it is. We are going to the grassroots. We'll go to the villages, the states in Nigeria, the local government, to mobilize and sensitize the youth about 2019 election. I want to tell you that 2019 is not just like other years of election. The No Neck on Board Assembly led by Gari Bello and myself and other executives are ready to do something that has not been done in the history of Nigeria. After 2019, the youth will, because we are planning of taking over, and after 2019, when we might have delivered a president, a youth-friendly president, then we can now go and negotiate for this position. And negotiating for this position will make us to be economically ready for taking over from 2023.
Amazing. Now, a lot of people say that youth are not ready for leadership position. But if you go to social media, all the trending hashtags are pioneered by youth. You see Twitter fight, you see Instagram wars, and all of that, where every day we cry, we deserve our accolades. Right now, then they rush us. Before, so many things happening that you haven't seen a number of youth come up with productive ideas that will transform the socioeconomic life of Nigeria and Nigerians. Would you say, for instance, that 60% of positions, if given to the youth of Nigeria, say 2019, will make a difference? Are we ready for that?
Yes, a large number of us are ready for that. Speaking from the perspective of the determination of quite a number of youths presently now. But looking at the areas of why some youth hashtags say negative things about we are not ready, the youth are not they are not united themselves. A lot of things. That is one of the things the National Youth Council of Nigeria, especially from my office, will be tackling. One of our major focus is changing the narrative. There's a narrative there's an orientation, there's a mindset a lot of youth have. This orientation has to be changed. They have to be worked upon. They have to see positivity in themselves. They have to believe in themselves. not minding the environment. Your background should not determine where you're going to. That does not make your back to be on the ground. So one of the things I am going to be working on as the public relation officer is reaching out, speaking, reorientation, and meeting them at where they need these advices so that they can have a positive mindset, looking at the possibility of youth. We have a lot of youth that are well-educated, visionary, focused, and they have a lot of qualities in them that even they are given opportunities to mount positions of leadership. In fact, let me use the word, they over-deliver. Because I cannot say that we don't have some of the elders that deliver, but you cannot compare the brain of a young man, a young woman, this computerized age that we are now. Most of them, they are in that position. It's the youth that are working on they're giving them all the gimmicks that they are using, ideas and all the rest.
But let me just stay with you so I take your last word as we go towards 2019. Very briefly, what will be your advice to young people to ensure that we achieve what you want us to achieve?
My advice to the great is that stay positive, be determined, and be focused. That's 3 words. Don't let us shift our gaze. By the time we look at everything that's happening around us, we might not want to move forward. Absolutely. As the Deputy President has said, there's nothing as taking the bull by the horn.
Amazing. Then let me take your last words. We move towards 2019.
Well, like I said earlier, I've continued saying it even in the newspaper everywhere. 2019 is a year for the youth, and we are ready to make it a reality in the Youth Council. In the next 2 weeks, we're going to meet with the chairman of all the political parties in Nigeria to tell them the interests of Nigerian youth. So we are there for them. Nigerian youth, we are here for you. Just follow us, give us that confidence, and I can assure you, if not for any other thing, for the sake of our youth that lost their life in Gombe, we will never disappoint you.
Amazing. Comrade Ambassador Innocent Nduwanya, Deputy President, National Youth Council of Nigeria, thank you for coming on Issues of the Moment.
Thank you very much.
And of course, Comrade Ambassador Awujola Kehinde, National Public Relations Officer in YCN, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
And to you out there, thank you for watching. My name is Ntenek and I'll see you again sometime very soon. Until then, do enjoy the rest of the programs coming from Television Nigerian. Bye-bye.